What kind of a mount are you looking for? A backyard pet your children can grow up with? Or a reliable trail animal to help you enjoy the high country? Do you love a reining spin or the intricate moves of the dressage arena? Do you long to be flying high on a jump course? Or does driving a Surrey with the fringe on top sound like your cup of tea? Whatever kind of equine companion you're looking for, you'll want one that will perform in a safe, obedient manner. The purpose of these programs is to help you understand mules and donkeys and learn how to handle and train them correctly. Now, we know that not everyone watching owns a mule. Some of you own horses. Well, there's something here for you too. You'll notice that these are simple, easy-to-follow lessons. They're designed to teach you a variety of correct training methods for horses as well as for mules and donkeys. The result? Whether his ears are long or short, you'll have a well-mannered, well-trained animal. This program features segments from an award-winning video series created for the equine industry by acclaimed trainer and educator Meredith Hodges. Because of this, you'll hear occasional references to the videos and also to the workbooks and field cards that are included with the video series. The field cards that come with the videos are a great training tool that can be taken right into the arena. We'll be sure to give you information on the complete training series later in the program. Now let's learn a little about Meredith Hodges and why so many people rely on her as their training consultant.
Meredith has, for many years, gone to experts in every field of endeavor to learn from. And because of this vast knowledge she has in all different aspects of training, I think she's a wonderful teacher. And the fact that she is able to share it with all of us benefits us as well. Meredith is probably the hardest working person in this industry that I know. She has dedicated her time for years and years and years to help people. She's always been willing to help people. And I think that's what you give back when you really believe in something. I've watched through the years Meredith coming full circle within the industry, starting as a student herself, and then going on and being a professional in the show ring and as a judge. And then the last step is helping other people by teaching them.
Mules are wonderful animals. They're strong, intelligent, affectionate, with a great sense of humor, and what incredible athletes. But training a mule is different than training a horse. When you're training a mule, you have to take into consideration the donkey half as well as the horse half. Now that your animal is responding to the reward system of training, he may become more aggressive towards his reward. It is now time to learn how to limit these aggressive behaviors and still maintain a positive and inspiring attitude. In this program, we will show you how to limit bad behaviors humanely, and we'll teach you about restraints that will be useful during the course of training.
Each week our program covers a different phase of management and training. No matter what kind of equine companion you're interested in, you'll find techniques that will help you reach your training goals and bond with your animal in the process. Just remember, the keys to success are patience, kindness, and understanding.
Today we'll go over a few lessons your mule will need to become a good equine citizen. In tape 1, The Mule Foal, we talked about handling your baby, teaching him to be haltered, tied, led through obstacles, and loaded into a trailer. The foal was given daily lessons of 15 to 30 minutes each. It learned one lesson at a time in sequence. We weren't looking for absolute perfection, only a reasonable response for a baby, and you made sure it mastered each learning experience before going on to the next. Here's some tips to make training easier for both you and your mule. It's very important to realize that mules love routine. First, begin by creating a workstation where you start each lesson. This can be an area where you bring your mule each day to tie him up, groom, and saddle. At the end of the day, you return to the workstation to untack and brush. These familiar surroundings help minimize distractions. Second, get in the habit of covering everything he's learned before going on to something new. For instance, if today's the day he's going to be saddled for the first time, go through all the steps he's learned before. Tie him and make him stand quietly, brush him, pick up his feet, take the saddle blanket and flop it all around him. In other words, cover everything you taught him before, just don't take quite as much time. By now you should have a pretty good idea about your mule's disposition and the way he reacts when he gets mad. In most cases he may be the perfect little gentleman, but if he's not, you need to know how to prevent bad habits or totally stop them in their tracks. There are two totally unacceptable behaviors in any animal: biting and kicking. The first big lesson your mule must learn is that although good behavior is rewarded, inappropriate behavior is instantly punished. For instance, sometimes a youngster might think it's okay to play with you the same way he plays with other foals. Well, they bite and nip each other. He needs to learn early that it is not okay to bite. The first time he nips at you, respond instantly by yelling "no" and slapping the side of his mouth. Then immediately regain your cheery attitude and reward him for standing still and paying attention. Your stern reaction will surprise him, and the negative reinforcement will hurt. It won't take long before he figures out that biting is not something humans tolerate. Your job is to teach him that kicking is never an acceptable behavior. To do this, take him into the training station and tie him securely. Take your driving whip or any whip long enough to reach him safely with you out of kicking range. Now you're going to annoy him by running the whip all over his hocks, his legs, his fetlocks, his belly, and you're daring him to respond to this irritation by kicking. If he doesn't kick, great. Reward him and brag about how good he is. But if he does kick, react instantly by yelling "no" and sting him with the whip on the fetlock and the rump. This is one time when your goal is to make him angry, so keep working until he realizes that any attempt to kick will be unpleasant. Make sure you annoy him equally on both sides. When he finally controls his urge to kick, reward him and let him know he's doing the right thing. If you do this safety training early in your mule's life, you will be able to proceed with basic training with confidence. If you have an older mule who is a chronic kicker, it's never too late to do this training. Now we're ready to add the next steps in training. The foal will now be a yearling. This youngster should be given daily lessons of 30 minutes each, repeated until the learning experience is mastered. You can begin to lengthen the lessons to 45 minutes, but it's best to spend the last 15 minutes on something easy and relaxing. Remember, you're building on that basic foundation you established with the foal. But you're asking your mule to take on more responsibility and perfect his technique. You're creating a solid, loving, working relationship. You're preparing for performance. By now, your youngster should remain calm when tied. You should be able to brush him and pick up his feet. He's now ready to stand for longer periods of time. You can start asking him to be more perfect in showmanship. You should no longer have to touch his body to set him up. You should not have to touch him at halter in a show other than to move the halter back in position after a judge's inspection. Gradually add to his ground training by cleaning his front and rear feet. Remember to reward your mule for his good manners and obedience. If he is difficult for any reason with his hind feet, you can use a Scotch hobble as a training aid. We'll cover the Scotch hobble in a moment.
Now, folks, just a reminder that Meredith's animals have not been pre-trained. You're seeing them react for the first time to her methods.
Early in a mule's life, you should teach him to be calm in restraints. It will make your life a lot easier. Your vet and farrier will thank you, and it may save your mule's life if he should get caught in a fence. If your mule is difficult to lead, you can use a quick twist in your lead rope to give you more leverage. Twist a loop in your lead rope and bring it behind the noseband of the halter. Slip the loop around his nose and pull it tight. Now, when you ask him to come forward, you're not just pulling the halter, you have more leverage. Repeat as necessary. Do not tie him up with a quick twist. Take off the quick twist and use the face tie if needed. Use the face tie to aid in clipping his bridle path and other light trimming weekly to prepare him for show clipping later. Now let's talk about hobbles. These are 2 sets of hobbles, and this is a 15-foot rope we use for the Scotch hobble. Here is a soft lead rope you can use to make a set of front leg hobbles. These hobbles are an appointment and are sometimes attached to the saddle in showing Western classes. They are dangerous to actually use on the animal. To use the Scotch hobble, tie a non-slip knot around your mule's neck. Take the excess down to the hind foot and around the pastern, then back up through the neck loop and back around the pastern a second time. Pull the rope just tight enough so that your mule must stand on his other 3 legs for balance. Wrap the excess around the ropes going to the foot and back up to the loop around the neck and tie with a quick release knot. By wrapping the ropes going to the foot, you prevent the foot from slipping loose. The first time you use the Scotch hobble, you will probably have to secure the hind leg so that it cannot touch the ground. As your mule becomes more quiet and accepting, you should loosen the hobble a little bit each time until it is not used at all. This is called fading out the restraint. When he's learned to stand calmly in a Scotch hobble, you can use a twisted lead rope with no snap to hobble his front legs with a safety knot. The same lead rope can be used to tie up one leg to force the mule to keep all his weight on the other 3 legs. When he masters this restraint, you can put him in sheepskin-lined chain hobbles safely. Don't use nylon hobbles. They can cause severe rope burns. You can use hobbles at camp in the high country, but make sure that your mule is near another horse or mule who is tied or stays put in hobbles. As you can see, mules are smart and athletic and will quickly learn to hop along while hobbled. Now that your mule is minding his manners, let's get him ready for saddling. We'll be back in a jiffy.
Colorful Colorado, with its majestic Rocky Mountains and wide open spaces, also boasts the Loveland Long Ears Museum and Sculpture Park at the Lucky 3 Ranch, home of some of the finest mules and donkeys in the world. This working ranch is just 40 miles north of Denver. World-renowned authority on mules and donkeys, Meredith Hodges, invites you and your family for an adventure in learning you won't want to miss. Come visit the Lucky 3 Ranch, meet Meredith, her champion mules and donkeys, and take in the beauty of her long years art for the experience of a lifetime.
Hi, I'm Meredith Hodges, and welcome to the Lucky 3 Ranch Training Tips. Chaos is the enemy of good equine management, so setting up an organized, familiar workstation is a terrific idea. Equines are creatures of habit, so a familiar workstation and regular grooming keep them healthy, happy, and calm. It also helps you to develop and maintain a solid, reliable management routine. First, find the right spot for your workstation. It should be convenient, safe, clear of debris, and non-threatening to your animal. Make sure you have a safe place to tie up your animal. A sturdy and easy-to-clean station is important, as is plenty of space for your grooming tools, and tack should be nearby. Remember, your first priority is always building and maintaining your equine's trust, and a well-thought-out, familiar workstation will go a long way in building that trust.
Here's an engineer. How did you know that? So we go see a huge mule. Because this thing, too fine. Just look ahead. That's all you gotta do. Okay, come on, boys. Let's go. Come on.
Every owner knows that a well-taken care of equine is a happy equine. More and more, a technique being used to enhance our animals' overall conditioning is equine massage.
What you have to realize is you're training an animal in their muscle tissue, and their muscle tissue has to be able to perform the task that you're asking the animal to perform. If you're having a hard time doing the advanced things, you need to go back to the beginning. The massage helps break the pattern of the neurons that fire to that muscle, that tell it to contract, to contract, to contract.
With proper instruction, just about anyone can learn to give their equine the benefit of basic massage.
I've been working on equines for a long time, and a lot of people look at you and hope that you can just come out and make an animal better. And you can't do that. It takes two pieces, the massage as well as the exercise. And the exercise is actually more important than the massage. And that's something that people really have to understand. And Meredith's tapes do that. And a lot of people don't want to take that long a time frame. They just want to do their 60 days, get on the animal and ride them. But that's not really where you can go with their backs.
For more intensive therapeutic massage, be sure to consult a professional. Equine massage not only enhances your animal's health and overall condition, it's also a deeply personal and rewarding bonding experience for both of you.
Many of you who love your horses also love your dogs. This type of massage can be beneficial for all your pets. If you want to improve your animal's quality of life, I can help. I can either teach you how to do it, or I can massage your dogs for you. Contact me at dogmassage.com.
Teach your mules amazing things.
This is the well-known equation where time to failure is exponentially distributed. Can anyone solve this equation for the class? Daisy.
teach your mules amazing things.
Hi, I'm Meredith Hodges, and welcome to the Lucky 3 Ranch Training Tips. Routine grooming is an essential part of the care of your equine. A monthly grooming should keep your equine's coat nicely maintained along with a good feeding program. But if you can manage it, a weekly grooming is even better, especially in the spring when shedding becomes an issue. Make sure you have the correct tools for each step of the process and learn how to use them properly. A shedding blade can be a painful tool when used improperly, and a regular plastic hairbrush works better to pull the loose hair from the undercoat on the whole body after you have removed the dried mud spots with the shedding blade. Always start at your animal's head. Use firm, short, quick, but gentle motions with your shedding blade to remove any mud, and pay special attention to how much pressure you apply over sensitive, bony areas. Work extra carefully removing mud spots around the ears, eyes, and nostrils. Remove any large areas of mud on the body with the shedding blade, again using quick, short strokes, and then use the plastic hairbrush over the whole body to remove the undercoat. Then go over the entire body again with a dandy brush using short flicks to expel the dirt. Work your way from the head to the tail the same way on both sides. Never trim the hair from inside of the ears. The fine hairs act as a screen to help keep out bugs and debris. Use Johnson's baby oil in the mane and tail for a more horse-like appearance, and then finish by using a wet towel on the face to clean around the eyes and inside the ears and nostrils. For dry hooves, you can apply a hoof dressing that is free from petroleum products. Grooming is a great time for you to bond with your animal and a perfect opportunity to check out his mental and physical condition, both visually and through your touch. When done correctly and with patience, respect, and kindness, grooming can be one of the best parts of the day for you and your equine.
Artwork inspired by mules and donkeys is quickly gaining popularity. Tennessee mule artist Bonnie Shields has the uncanny ability to capture the fun-loving nature of these free-spirited animals.
They were like a horse, but they weren't like a horse. They had a little different body. They used their body a different way. They certainly had a different mental attitude. So they started intriguing me as an artist, and I kept finding the differences between them and the horse, both physically and in their reaction to things. So that started my love affair with the mule. When you deal with the mule, you're not always in charge. So it takes a little bit of a different kind of personality to appreciate the mule and to work with her.
She was the only artist that could really capture the essence of mules and donkeys. The mules and donkeys are really good teachers and teachers of life lessons. And Bonnie has just been an inspiration to me ever since. Wow, how'd it do?
Whoa. I know that all through the years, Meredith gives tours to the ranch. But what a wonderful addition to this whole ranch would be a sculpture park just for the mules and the donkeys. So I just thought it was an awesome idea. And then she let me be part of it. It's a wonderful thing, and when you come to visit the Lucky 3, it's just an added bonus. Mule people, you reckon I can get Meredith to make a tape on how to teach your mule to shovel snow? I sure gonna try. Wish me luck.
Just a wonderful human being, and working with her is always humorous. She is just funny as the day is long, and so I thought that she would be absolutely perfect as the illustrator for the Jasper series that I wanted to do.
The Daydreamers was inspired by a thing that I saw years ago. I heard about this family up in Kentucky. They'd been working tobacco out in the field with their mules. And one of the boys He was laying across this mule's back, laying in the shade. They'd been working, and he was resting on the back of his mule in the shade. That just kind of stuck with me, and I thought, gee, a kid like that, you know, he thinks he's stuck on the farm, he thinks he's stuck doing all this terrible old work, and he's laying up there and he's daydreaming about getting away from it all. So that's where Daydreamer came from. Sculpture's not the only thing I do. Matter of fact, I got into sculpture maybe a little later in my career. Mostly, I was known for my pencil drawings and my acrylic paintings for many, many years.
Long ears art. It may be whimsical, like a cartoon, or it may simply be breathtaking. Long ears are taking their place in the world of art, and it's the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
For the next exercise, your yearling needs to get used to the saddle blanket. Remember, a mule needs to see a purpose for what he's learning. It's best to do this in very brief sessions after his round pen or lunging workout. If he isn't full of energy, he will be more apt to cooperate. We'll talk about lunging in just a moment. Tie the youngster at the end of the workstation and gently place the saddle blanket on his back, sliding it from head to tail, slowly and calmly. Take the time to assure him it's okay. This is called sacking out, but we do it more quietly than the old-timers did it. Even though you will do this until he isn't afraid of having something on his back, you will always make sacking out a part of your routine for every training session. Once your mule has learned to accept saddle pads and stable blankets, it's time for him to learn to be saddled. I'm using an English saddle here, but you can use a small pack saddle or a small, lightweight Western saddle that doesn't weigh more than about 50 pounds. You'll notice that we're using the same equipment you would for a horse, but with one important addition, a crupper. Your mule's conformation will determine how often you need a crupper. If he has withers, like the mule on the left, you may only need it for mountain riding and jumping. If he's flat-withered, like the mule on the right, you will always need a crupper to keep the saddle from slipping forward. Now let's talk about croupers. There are several kinds on the market, but one is definitely a better choice than the rest. Here we have two croupers with the buckles down by the base of the tail. The mule can easily swish his tail and get it caught in these buckles and causing him great stress. Wouldn't it be better to have a crupper such as this one, where the buckle is set a little bit higher and away from the tail and has no rough edges or anything sticking out where the tail hairs can get caught? Let me show you how this is attached to the English saddle. I'm going to pull this away here, kind of angle it, push it under, give it a little pull. As you can see, that's not going anywhere. Okay, back to our training. Put the pad or blanket on his back. Show your mule the saddle just as you have allowed him to inspect all other strange objects. Stroke his neck and tell him it's okay. Ease the saddle gently onto his back. Be sure to hold onto any dangling girths or straps. Allow the girth to drop easily onto the other side. Try to keep it from banging into his legs. When you reach underneath for the girth, rub your mule gently and firmly along his girth area until you can reach the girth. Slowly bring the girth back with your hand and secure it snugly, but not tightly. It's a good idea to get in the habit of checking the girth several times before you actually work. You don't want the saddle to slip sideways or under him. That's very scary. You should be able to barely slip your hand between the girth and the mule. When he accepts the saddle, the next step is to attach the crupper. Now don't be alarmed if he tightens his tail. Talk to him, scratch his rear until he relaxes. Make sure it's snug but not too tight. Once he's tacked up, praise and pet him. Now he needs to go for a walk to get used to the saddle. If you have a hot walker, let him go around for 20 minutes or so. Increase the time gradually on a weekly basis. If you don't have a hot walker, then take him for about a 20-minute stroll in an enclosed area. Return to your workstation and slowly untack. Saddle, walk, and unsaddle once a day, every other day for about a month until he is used to the procedure. Now you can have some fun with your yearling. During your walks, you can visit the obstacle course with him tacked up. He will learn to balance the weight of the saddle and get used to carrying a load. This will help him build and condition muscles and develop a good growth program for body. Use the verbal cues, adding over, come, and back to the commands. Remember, he's still a baby, so keep your training fairly short. Work every other day, no more than 45 minutes per session, with short breaks every 15 minutes. It helps to vary the routine, that is, showmanship one day, rest, obstacles the next day, rest, go for a trail walk, rest, and lunging. Your mule needs time to think, so keep it fun for both of you. Please join us next week when we'll begin the groundwork phase of your mule's training.
Having problems? Need an accessible trainer? Whether you're just a weekend trail rider or showing, the principles of training are the same. You want a safe and reliable equine companion. Produced by Meredith Hodges, Training Mules and Donkeys, a logical approach to long ears, will help you build a good working relationship with your animal. Meredith reveals the secrets of successful maintenance and resistance-free training that can be implemented by anyone, resulting in a satisfying partnership between you and your equine. Meredith answers your training questions promptly via mail or phone. Her books are great general resources and her videos are detailed, outlining the day-to-day exercises needed to produce a versatile and dependable equine companion. Meredith's techniques work with all equines. Do you have children, grandchildren? Check out Jasper, the story of a mule. For more information, check out our website at www.lucky3ranch.com or call 1-800-816-7566.
Mules are working their way into the hearts of people everywhere. If you'd like to know more about these wonderful long-eared animals, you can contact us at 1-800-816-7566 or get on our website at lucky3ranch.com.
Dusty old quilt hung crooked on a couch in an old stone house.